March 18th is Budget Day in Barbados, and all eyes will be on the House of Assembly as Finance Minister and Prime Minister Mia Amour-Motley announces government's plans for the new financial year. But with Barbados operating under its second International Monetary Fund program since 2018, economist Professor Justin Robinson believes the target set under that program will limit the government's ability to provide any major relief.
Economic policy in Barbados is really anchored around achieving a debt to GDP ratio of 60% by 2032. And based on that, I don't expect any particularly generous giveaways or anything like that in the budget. I think because of that long-term anchor and meeting the targets in the IMF program, the fiscal space for the government is relatively limited.
Fellow economist Professor Don Marshall agrees with this assessment, particularly with an expected deficit of $251.9 million.
Which means that has to be picked up in taxes, fees, purchase of bonds, securities, a whole set of measures and borrowing in order to close that deficit. And we also have the other vexing challenge of addressing our $1.06 billion in debt.
Professor Marshall, however, believes citizens could see an adjustment in taxes, but not in ways that would prevent government from collecting the revenue required.
We may get some relief in key areas, probably reduction in gasoline prices and so on. That is to say, the rate that is applied, or we may see an adjustment to property taxes by way of reduction, or we may see some adjustments in relation to our water bills in terms of the nominal tax that we pay to cover solid waste and other things we may see. But I don't want to raise false expectations, because ultimately holding the tiller firm might be the tone of the budget.
Meanwhile, Professor Robinson is expecting budgetary measures to try and facilitate economic growth to achieve the target of 3 to 4%. But he stresses the importance of that growth and capital projects being driven by the private sector.
If the government capital works program continues to be a major driver, and that is really funded by government borrowing, then we have a potential problem down the road. So I'd be looking for initiatives to incentivize, to spur private sector growth, and especially around that renewable energy area, which had been earmarked as a major growth driver, but has become stalled because of battery storage issues.
Measures to address other hot topics such as health, sick buildings, roads, and sporting facilities are also expected to be addressed in the budget. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.